Welcome everyone to another Buzz Slayers interview. Today we are here with King Darius the Great, and we want to talk about a bunch of your stuff today, man. I want to go into subscribe. I want to go into the Trump dance, which is more relevant than ever right now. Obviously,
Yeah.
the
Oh,
whole
yeah.
the whole thing. The inauguration went down last night.
Right.
And he's very known for the Trump dance. That was a you know Trump Dance was a really interesting track because it seems like you collaborate with a lot of people on like half of your songs. You collab. You find these great artists to collab with. Um, Trump Dance had Marvelous J, and he did an awesome job too. So actually, you know what I would love to know is how do you find your artists to collaborate with? Do you like network, or is it part of your crew, or how does that work?
So honestly, honestly, a little bit of both.
Oh.
In reference to the Trump dance, though, Marvelous J, he's the producer on the record. So
Ah.
yeah, he made the beat and whatnot, and we actually have a extensive history going back. We actually both got on the Billboard charts together. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So we
nice.
got we come from a little fraternity as far as that's concerned, as being in an inner circle and kind of just making it from the same side of town and whatnot. You know
Mm.
what I mean? Came up kind of in the same vicinity and what have you, and we just so happened to end up working together after high school and whatnot,
Mm.
and ended up hitting the Billboard charts. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
isn't it an amazing thing when that kind of things happen like that? It's like
Oh
you just
yeah.
never know. But you guys obviously, if you guys have go back that far, you guys
Mhm.
have probably been making music for a long time. And so he did the production, he produced the beat on that one. I
Right.
also noticed that, but like Subscribe, you collab with Subscribe with an artist,
Right.
Synthedon, and she's like insane on that track too. She
Yes.
really
Yes.
crushes it.
Yeah.
I mean, she brings like such a like a swagger to the track, dude. Like
She really does.
yeah.
Yeah. And
And
she
so
all of that is definitely her. That's definitely just something that she's been personally blessed with. And it's cool to work with individuals, that's that talented and that like-minded and whatnot, because it just makes for uh wonderful infectious material. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So um,
Subscribe is a banger of a song. And so my question also, it's because I want to get like a little bit of history on you yourself and how you got into the music game because
yeah.
because it's like you managed to put these tracks together and going through your stuff and studying up on you, so to speak, a little bit.
Mhm.
You've written songs for other people, for other artists, right?
Correct.
I wanted to know, like, when you write songs for other artists and things like that, are you writing the lyrics? Do you produce your own beats as well, or do you usually get that from other people and collaborating?
So yeah, usually the beats come from either the situation already at hand or a producer that I'm familiar with.
Uh,
Either or is okay with me. However, the person who's spending the money would like to do it, it's totally fine. But yeah, so either way is pretty cool with me. And then at that point, I kind of just what I like to do is I kind of like look at their body of work already and
yeah.
kind of see what they've been doing, where they've gone, what lane works for them the
Mhm.
most. Kind of take all those things into account, and then I craft something for them that I think would work for them personally, as far as like where they are at that particular moment in their career.
Right. Okay. Like Seaside with the MySpace track, MySpace Freak. That
Yeah,
one was a banger too, man. But you
yeah,
can see that one, you can feel that. So you wrote that for Seaside, right?
correct, correct.
And then I don't know how the production went or whatever with that one, but you guys, that song was like, it seems like that was a little while ago, that track, maybe a couple years ago or something like that, but
Oh yeah, it
how old
was a
is that
while ago.
track?
It was a good while ago because you got to think it's MySpace, so that
MySpace
was
Freak. Yeah. Yeah.
so that was like wow, like 2006, six-ish
See, that
type
makes sense.
or
That
five-ish,
makes
six-ish. Yeah, so shout out to Hit James. He's the one that did the production on that one
yeah.
originally. And yeah, me and him, we just decided to just link up one day, and I came up with that whole idea of, because MySpace was just the whole craze at the time. You know
Oh
what I'm
yeah.
saying? It was just insane. It was, and at that time, making songs about anything relatable to the internet was like unheard of,
Yeah,
because
right.
it just wasn't enough, you know, body of the internet being in existence for people to just want to talk about it in song form. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But
Yep.
I decided to jump out on that limb because I felt like, well, this is a little different because everybody's on this right now.
Yep.
You know what I
Yep.
mean? So I'm like, the idea was like maybe use the fact that the platform is so popular to help promote the record itself. And ultimately, that's exactly what happened. We literally put it on our page, and um, the next day, it was just everybody had it as their default song on their page. Like you could just click random pages, and the song would play. I'm like, wow,
Because
this
it's
is
about
crazy.
MySpace,
Right,
like
right,
MySpace is kind
exactly,
of the premise of the song. It's about people being basically addicted to MySpace. And look
exactly.
at where we are now. Now everything's
Right.
like that,
Fast
right? Like,
forward.
yeah, fast forward to today, 20
Yeah,
years later almost. And it's like, I remember those times very well. The MySpace days were interesting days. But what was cool about that is that was one of the earlier platforms where it was kind of like social media, but it was also it boasted the music side of things, the creative
yeah,
side, art and music and stuff. That was
right,
like the earliest one that did that.
right,
And so
right.
it was a really smart. So did you write MySpace for you? Did you have it already written and you were like thinking about using it for yourself or thinking about, or did you guys get together and you were like, this is what we're going to write this together? Was it like that? Or did you already have it
No,
done?
so what it was is I pretty much came up with the concept just being out and about. That's the best time when song ideas come to me, is when I'm just out and about doing, my daily activities.
Yeah.
So it was one of those moments that took place, and then obviously I got with one of my good guys at the time, Hit James,
Mm-hmm.
and he played some beats for me. And once he played that particular one, I'm like, oh, yep, that's it right
You
there.
heard it. You
You know
heard
what I'm
it.
saying?
Yeah.
And immediately, myself and him, we took it to one of the members of the group. Uh, Honestly, they weren't very sold on it at first, because you got to think about it. This hasn't been done before. It's not
Yeah.
something that, as rappers, you kind of real worried about, what I'm saying, your outlook, and what I'm saying,
Yeah.
how people are gonna take things and what have you, a certain imagery you want to keep up depending on what type of artist you are.
Yep.
With that being said, it was just something, honestly, that hadn't been done. So any genre would have probably been a little apprehensive. So that's understandable.
Yeah. I
But
agree.
yeah, ultimately, just by the coercion of myself and Hit James, they went ahead and went along with it. And literally the next day, that same member called me in the morning on the flip phone.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, yo, what's up? He's like, yo, man, I don't know what idea you had with this record, dude, but it is taken off overnight, man. Like,
Yeah.
it's all over MySpace now.
So as I'm going through your stuff, I'm going like, wow, this is wild. There's no two songs that are alike with your catalog of stuff that you've written for other people, and for the stuff that you've done yourself. There's no two
Right.
songs that are really alike. Songs like Trump Dance and Subscribe and stuff like that. Only in Atlanta, like those kinds of tracks, I feel like Subscribe, Trump Dance, Dinar, like those kind of songs, I feel like have the same producer on them.
Right.
Right.
Right. They
and
do.
and
That's
and who's
Marvelous
that
J.
producer?
That's Marvelous
Oh,
J.
that's Marvelous J. Okay,
Yeah.
great. So
Yeah.
Marvelous J, he's really good at bringing like this, edgy kind of feel to the tracks. And then I
Right.
feel like you get into character when you hear the beats, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And so
Definitely.
do your collabs that you work with, like for Subscribe, Synthedon is like, she and did you write her part too, or did she write her own part for
No, no,
Subscribe?
no. She nailed that on her own.
Got it.
Um,
Incredible.
and that's why I was saying, like, just it's always a beautiful situation when you can, lean on a collaborator to go ahead and return the same energy that you give or
Yeah.
better. That's the best thing in the world.
Yeah, it feels good,
It
right?
becomes
Yeah.
hard nowadays. Like it's not, you know.
Yeah. Have you ever done it where maybe you like collaborated with some people that just didn't work out and you didn't release the track? Has that ever happened?
Yeah, honestly, there's been situations where it hasn't worked out after the track has already been released.
What? What do you
Yeah.
mean, like a falling out between you and the person, or?
I mean, yeah, from a business standpoint, yeah, and
Mhm. Mm.
honestly, definitely when it's business, personal gets involved as well. Some because your personality is involved. You know
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
And, yeah. So
yeah.
my
People.
thing is, and mainly I'm always business over personal because it's never personal. It shouldn't
Mm,
be, at least.
yeah,
But
yeah. It's
um,
business. Yeah.
once it begins to violate what I consider to be proper business ethic, then I have
Mm,
to I have to move in a different direction. And that's
yeah.
even after a record's already been put out. I will I'm known to do this. I will change that song and put a different collaborator on it if need be, or myself, you know.
There you go. I was just
Um,
gonna say you can just do that. Certain areas of it you can just do yourself.
and yeah, yep, and that
Wow.
actually has happened and
Yeah.
worked out pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
It's one of the things. Sometimes you never know how the cards will fall.
yeah, no, you
So,
never know, but it's good to know that you can handle it. You're like, what, I'm just going to do this part myself, or I have another guy that's or another person that's can do this part or whatever. But
right.
sometimes you come across and it's just like boom, like like Subscribe, for example, is a perfect example of a track that obviously fell together probably better than you thought it would. Um,
Honestly, honestly,
right?
even that situation and how me and Sin even met,
How'd that happen?
that
How did you
actually
meet?
came, it was a good segue to what you were just saying, because that actually came from a situation where, um, just to keep it brief, I was I really believed in a certain artist and was about to take them to a certain level as far as, introducing them to individuals that can take things to the next level for them, and their career. And that individual ended up exhibiting disloyal behavior towards me to the individual that I was taking them to. So they saw that and it was like, wow, why would you do that to him? And he's the one bringing you in. That's
Yeah,
not cool. That's not cool at all. And not knowing that me and these individuals have a long, years of
history.
relationship. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
And because of that, it was like they didn't even want to do the situation with them anymore. It
yeah.
wasn't even a
The
thing up
attitude
to me.
dropped. Yeah,
Right.
when the respect isn't there, people can see that.
Exactly.
So
Exactly. And they didn't want to invest in anything that was going to be already exhibiting disloyal behavior and what have you,
yeah,
because that's at that point that's a bad investment. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So
yeah.
um
And then how'd you meet?
so through DJ Nuclear and DJ Lil Sick, they happened to have an artist by the name of Sin the Don who was
Mhm.
in the area where that meeting was actually going to be taking place. And
Mhm.
it was like, hey, you know what? We're here. We still have this immaculate studio at Paramount Studios in Los Angeles.
Woo.
Why not? Why not make the best of it and see what she has to offer here? We met, sent the guys out to had brunch or whatever. She checked all the boxes from a personality standpoint, and they were sold on what she already had material wise, and was like, hey, let's get you in there with King Darius, see what you come up with, and yeah, we did that.
Was that like a 1 day thing where you met her and then let's go back into the studio type of thing, or did that take some time?
Yeah, no, so it was definitely that one time thing as far as that particular situation. But
Mm.
after it went so well as far as the record that we did do that day, I
Oh,
told
so that
myself,
was a
I'm like,
different
look,
record.
she's so talented. I got to keep this going.
Oh, so that was a different track.
Right.
Oh, okay. Now I'm getting it. Now I'm getting it. So you now, but by the point of subscribe, you guys already have worked
Exactly,
together. You know that,
exactly,
yeah.
exactly.
And you knew she was going to bring fire to the track for
Based
sure.
on based
You
on how
knew,
she exhibited herself that day
oh,
at
you knew what
Marathon.
was going
Yeah,
to go down. You
exactly,
knew it was going to be sick, dude,
exactly.
for sure. You
Yeah.
were like, yeah, this is going to be gold and all that kind of stuff. And then what about Trump Dance? That's a really good track because, and it's also like this quick, it's like a 2 minute, you know, it's a quick one, that track,
Yeah. Um.
Did you,
So
how'd that
so
come
that
about?
that
Yeah.
one again, it, just like MySpace Freak, I always have a knack for just making songs off of trendy situations.
Yeah.
I just do that every now and then based on what's trending,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
if it works, it works. And I mean, once the football NFL players started doing it, and you got sports, once it transcends into sports and whatnot, you know, I think it's something to definitely talk about. And um, I just decided to put it in song form. Whether you like the guy or not, we can all agree that he definitely is someone that commands attention, at
Yeah.
least.
Yeah.
And
That's for
because of
sure.
that, it's like, hey, why not? Let's make this record.
Do you do do you do any like live performances? Any shows?
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely,
Oh, really?
definitely. I mean, back because I was actually in that group Seaside.
Oh,
That
you were.
Yeah, so I was a member of the group as well. While I was writing the songs and whatnot.
Mm.
So just during that process, we performed all over the country,
Oh,
in many
okay.
different coliseums and
Wow.
arenas and whatnot, all over the country and what have you.
Do you do that
Hawaii.
now? Do you do that with your solo stuff at all, or?
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely, definitely. So right now, I'm actually getting back into doing more live entertainment and whatnot.
Yeah.
I've just been kind of really focusing on building up the catalog and promoting and marketing the catalog.
Yeah.
But now that we're starting to make some noise with a few of these, it's time to come outside.
Yeah.
So
How do you
yeah,
how do
I'll
you
definitely
feel?
be on some stages pretty soon here.
Yeah, how do you feel about that? I mean, do you get the same do you love doing that too, just as much as the being in the recording studio?
I do. I mean, it's a different type of energy,
Yeah.
obviously, because you have people involved and whatnot, and their reaction. You're feeding off their energy, or even their lack thereof. You want to give them energy
Yeah.
if they don't have any. It's you got to read the room and kind of just adjust and decide how you're gonna attack it from there based on how the energy of the room is. But I
Right.
love it. I embrace it, and I think it's wonderful.
Um, if I were to ask you what you would say your top five musical influences of like all time would be, I know that's a hard question. It's a tough one,
Yeah.
I know, because you're someone that's you spent so much time building up what you're doing, and
Mhm.
you've been doing this for a long time, and you've worked with so many other people. But maybe it's stuff that like that influenced you as a kid. Like what happened where all of a sudden you were like, oh, did you hear something? You're like, I want to do that, or
Yeah,
how'd that
yeah,
work?
yeah. So I mean, honestly, uh, I'm in Georgia now,
Mhm.
so there's definitely those southern roots that come in through the ancestral background.
Mhm.
But I was born in the Midwest. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Right outside of Chicago and what have you in Illinois, and um, coming up there, there's a lot of talent, and they're very competitive with their talent as well.
Uh,
So it's like, you know, it's I think that definitely shaped me into the type of artist that I am. So when I think about artists like Twista, that
Yeah.
was able to just put together so many words, um, at such a rapid pace, but make sense at the same time,
Yeah.
and just do it with such precision. I mean, honestly, I don't know anyone better at that particular style, you know.
Right.
And then to artists like Kanye West, but
Mhm.
he's Ye now, but like
Right.
Ye
Yeah.
with just all the knowledge and wisdom and the just epic production that he puts together. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? When he
Yeah.
when he gets out there, man, to guys like Common,
Hmm.
who again,
I love Common.
very, very, very lyrical, but uh, more about his content more than anything is
Hmm.
what really stood out, to me when it came to him.
Yeah,
Um, and
that's a good one
then
too. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Like then you got to think about artists like even in the the R&B world. Um, I mean, a lot of people don't like to say this guy, man, but I'm gonna say it. Man. R. Kelly was definitely an inspiration.
R. Kelly was great at what he does. Hey, look, doesn't matter. Let's put you know, whatever aside. Just talk about the
Right,
just
exactly.
musically. Yeah, yeah. I knew that's what you meant. R. Kelly R&B wise was really, influential. You know what I mean? Even especially before all the whatever. But I remember when that all first started, it was all over the news, and it became like the joke of
Yeah,
everyone. But R.
but the
Kelly's
body
definitely
of work, the catalog
is
is
insane.
honestly, the catalog is just there's nothing that can compare to it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's really non-comparable. You'd
Yeah.
have to start talking about your Michael Jacksons and your Princes and what have you when you mention him from a catalog standpoint. So
Yeah.
that's someone that I paid a lot of attention to from a musical standpoint, and I
Yeah.
think it definitely influenced how I come up with concepts of songs and whatnot. Like this guy was one of the greatest with concepts and what have you. So definitely him. And then from a newer generational standpoint, I have to give it up to Chief Keef because he was a real pioneer in a sense of that whole drill movement. Now, I don't really necessarily condone what drill has turned into and whatnot, and I don't even think he does at this point because he doesn't even live anywhere near there, and he's enjoying, uh, the hills
Right.
and whatnot. But he he was very instrumental in helping usher in a certain sound,
Mhm.
and I gotta respect pioneers like that.
I agree
Um,
with that too. I agree with the what that and that's where like you'll lose me a little bit with the newer stuff. The older stuff you're talking about right now,
right,
I've heard some Twisted stuff, and I know what you're saying because he was very speedy lyrically.
right,
He could see the dude squeezed a ton into one, like kind of like Busta Rhymes used to do to an extent. Busta Rhymes. I like Busta.
exactly.
I like Busta because he was able to squeeze blah, 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 and he squeezed in a bunch. I had that one record with Bounce on it,
Mhm.
and that was a really really good record. Um,
Shout
but
out to
yeah,
Buster too. I got a song with Buster Rhymes called Hoop Dreams. Y'all check that
yeah,
out.
yeah. What's that? Oh, Hoop
Yeah, I got a
Dreams. Yeah,
song with Buster
is
Rhymes
Busta
called
on that?
called Hoop. Yeah, it's called Hoop Dreams.
That Busta Rhymes on that track?
Yeah, yep. He
Where's
kicked it. He
where
kicked
Hoop
it
Dreams?
off first verse.
Damn. And how'd you work that out, dude?
Yeah, man. So, uh, the other one of the other collaborators on there, Uncle Wahab, he's this artist out of Kuwait, and he has like this big, big, influence over there in Kuwait and whatnot.
Hmm.
Um, and he's very well off from a financial standpoint. And I mean, he knows these guys. He's real good with a lot of these individuals and whatnot. And he had an opportunity to do a song with his boy Busta, and he wanted the right type of chorus on there. And through a mutual individual who was also on the song, Poncho the Great, uh, they reached out to me because word through the grapevine is I know how to come up with some choruses.
Oh yeah, that's a
And
good word to have come down the
yeah,
grapevine, dude. Shit.
yeah, yeah. So that's the rest is history.
One of my last questions I wanted to ask is if you're, what's new? Are you working on anything new right now?
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. So I
Uh,
think right now, well, I know right now, what I'm getting into is more of the sync licensing aspect of things
yeah.
because a lot of people don't know or understand that music industry is more than just songs on the radio or songs to be streamed. You know, while those streams of income are nice, uh, getting things placed in movies, television, jingles for companies and what have you is very, very lucrative, if not much more lucrative
That's money. Yeah.
than that. If you're not just some major artist that's just generating um, millions of views every time you breathe on a record, sync licensing is a great way to create some great finances for you if you're a talented artist.
Yeah, so I think we got a lot of good stuff here. I want to thank you first of all for doing this.
Man, I appreciate it. I appreciate the opportunity.
Me too. It's been amazing. You're an awesome person to talk to. Like I said, you got a great vibe. You're a great personality. You're a great person to talk to, and I found a lot of your stuff really interesting the way, and I think other people will too. How you put all this stuff together. I feel like single, get down or lay down. I don't give a fuck about who used to run it. I live in this city, so I run this town. I see illegals, they living in style. Fitting on season, been all year around. I thought the cover was bad till 4 of them had a bagger that laced up loud. Club dance.